Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, you've heard about this purported extension of term where MPs, MCAs, governors, and the president want to extend their terms from 5 years to 7 years. Of course, there's a lot of issues there. Is it constitutional? Can the Senate do this or not? We have known that it's in the second reading at the Senate. But truth be said, first of all, I don't want to even discuss about how unconstitutional it is. I also don't want even to talk about how insensitive it is. But there is a very fundamental question we have to ask. Why do you think that this year that no one went to the street to propose anything to do with the finance bill? Why do you think nobody went to the street to discuss about the issue of appointments into government to organize mandamano? Yet in June 25th, 2024, that was a big issue. Why did even people waste time? Then people never wasted their time to discuss about the stories to do with the public participation in the finance bill and budget. The truth is this: Kenyans gave up on this government long time ago, and the only thing that is keeping this country from gliding into anarchy is just the hope that Maliza Mwende. They know that in 2027 they will go to the ballot and send this government home and then get their country back, put it back into governance, constitutionalism, and prosperity. So the first question I could ask, why should they ask for extension of term? Do they deserve it? Why do you promise people too much things? They promise people heaven. They said ukombozi inakuja when Kenya Kwanza government took thing. Then when they took office, when they are being asked about their 100 days plan, which they didn't deliver within 100 days, they said give us 200 days. Then all of a sudden they said give us 1 year. Then when they could not deliver anything, when people are asking questions, accountability, what followed was and forceful disappearance, forceful arrests, abductions, killing. And as they do that, looting is taking place. There is no job creation. They promised nothing that they promised they'll do. Healthcare is in shambles. Education is in trouble. So they are not being able to do anything with what they told us that we should be able to promise. The other question is, why ask for a second term when you believe that you delivered? If you have really delivered on your promises, because I hear them still telling us they have delivered their promises, they are doing the affordable housing, whatever they are trying to say they have delivered, and they have created so many jobs. So if you believe you have actually delivered, why do you need to extend the very term that you have? Why don't you just know you are guaranteed a second term? Therefore, there is no need of asking for extension of your first term. The other question you can ask, which is very critical, is why do you really ask for extension of the current term if you are really sure you can win second term? Because I had people shouting two term, two term, two term. If you know it's two term, which is 10 years, why do you need 7? Why don't you go for 10 instead of going for 7? So for me, this actually shows that these people have not delivered anything, and they're actually looking scary at the fact that they might not be able to deliver anything, and therefore they just want to extend their term again by term. What will you tell Kenyans who have already given up and they're just waiting for the ballot revolution? Because the bullet revolution failed. Now we are going for the ballot revolution. And let me tell you how this looks like. And if you believe me, you'll actually see this come. Mark my word. On June 25th, 2027, we will go to the streets, and many people will go to the streets just like June 25th of this year to commemorate what will happen on June 25th, 2024. Gen Zs, Gen Xs, millennials, all of them will go to the streets to commemorate this day. What will the president do? Remember, June 25th will just be less than 2 months before the election. What will they do? The president will unleash police brutality on them and beat them up. The fresh memories will come back again. And if that happens, Sabasaba Day is exactly 1 month before the election. They'll come back to the city again to do demonstration not just because the government has not performed, they'll also demonstrate because people have been beaten on June 25th. Now, 1 month to the election, after you do that, how do you expect to win the election? Because I can tell you, it is the hope that we will be voted home which has become the opium of the masses. The masses are having this opium, knowing that do whatever you do, you are going home on 10th of August 2027. That is what they are saying. And that's what keeps them alive. That's what makes people wake up. That's the hope for them. For me, for you, who is watching this clip, you know very well that if anybody takes the hope from you, that this current administration that is 12% popular will go home. If someone can take that hope from you, you have nothing to hang on. You can actually glide into anarchy. Someone tell the current administration, please dare you try to withdraw this hope from them by adding their pain by 2 years. Can you imagine if there's one of your biggest nightmares, one of your worst nights, God tells you he's going to add 10 hours to that night? How will it look like? So that's what they're trying to tell us. And I want to tell the current administration, I want to tell the Senate, I want to tell the National Assembly. The president has said that you receive bribes to pass bills. Should this bill pass, you know you have also been bribed. So we shall do this. We shall come to the street and send the bribed and the briber. Both the person who has bribed you to pass this bill and the person who has been bribed will go home, and we shall come, put the Senate into fire, put Parliament into fire, then eventually put State House in fire, because there is no way we can just sit here and corruption rule in Kenya. I want to tell Kenyans, whoever is ruling Kenya is not the president. It is corruption that ruling Kenya. Imagine if the president can bribe MPs. We are hearing that even judiciary is being bribed. Now we are hearing commissions are being bribed. All independent bodies are being bribed. And the president is one bribing. And then the president is also being bribed by other people from outside the country to accept some foreign policies which don't work. World Bank, how much is World Bank affecting us with? IMF. Why are we being colonized by people from outside Kenya? We want our country back. And Kenya will evolve back to what our founding fathers want. We shall evolve on 10th of August 2027. And I can tell young people, now that you have been told that 29th of August is the day when we begin, of September, is the day we begin now registering new voters. Let no one tell you, oh, you cannot remove William Ruto. Oh, your votes will be rigged. Oh, you will be controlled. No. Register en masse. In fact, I will be moving from each and every county telling people, let us just register fast and have the bullet and the gun cocked and kept, waiting to send this government home on the 10th of August 2027. And let us not even imagine that we'll extend that by 1 day. 2 years is too much. Let's even try to extend by 1 day. We have a date with destiny, which is on 10th of August 2027. We are not going to accept anything less than that. I want to remind the president the constitution belongs to the people of Kenya. It does not belong to you. In fact, the constitution is the one which has created the office you have. It is the people of Kenya who begets their sovereignty. Sovereignty begets the constitution. The constitution creates those offices where you are. Whether you are a senator, you are a governor, or you are an MCA, or you are a member of parliament, you are a women rep, know that you are there because of the mercy Kenya has given you. And do not use that as an advantage to sit over them. And we won't wait for long. I can tell you, dare you. And if you dare us and take away the hope and the opium that we are going to take you home on 10th of August, then we shall come from you for you, Mundu Umundu. God bless you and God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Maybe before you finish, I'll just get this question. This bill, what if it passes through the stages and is into law? Maybe is President Ruto now going to use it and to start afresh in 2027?
No, actually, it is unconstitutional because this bill, the presidential term limit is protected by the Constitution. And it's a requirement that only a referendum can get it back. But you see, what's happening is that they have created this thing to look for how to pass the article. Remember, there are so many things they want in the article. So remember, even the appointing of the prime minister, appointed by the president, all those proposals were there in the article. And I can tell you now, this is where we can say that the things you are seeing being made, decisions being made now post-article, this is Raila Odinga project, mark my word. Because even if you look at the panel of experts, is Raila Odinga. So I can see his fingerprints everywhere. From the appointments, the chair is Makao Motoa, we know. Gabriel Ogolla, Frederick Okango. You can see his fingerprints everywhere. In fact, mark my word, nobody will be compensated. It is that Raila and Ruto sign an agreement, and Raila is trying to play ball just to keep, Ruto is playing ball to keep Ruto happy, Raila happy. But the truth of the matter is that the NADCO, the thing of the panel of experts, that's the Raila project, which is Ruto who has agreed. I think I have instincts, and you know, as a Luo, we have spirits, and spirits talk to us. The spirit talked to me and told me, this is a Raila project. Even this one of the bill, this bill is completely a Raila project, trying to extend the terms because this is the way they want to reward the MPs, they want to reward the governors, they want to reward the senators. You know, some of the governors who are going for their last term, if you extend by 2 years, they are very happy because they are not eligible for election. Well, some governors who have misperformed, who are going home, they'll be very happy if that extension is done by 2 years. At least they ruled for 7 years, so they are closer to the already 2 terms.
So there's a chance the plan may be to extend.
Yes.
From 2027 up to 2029.
And the reason is that most of these MPs are going home. They're going home because remember, all the MPs who voted for the finance bill voted yes. People have earmarked they have to go home. And also, if you look at the corruption taking place in Parliament, taking place in the Senate, many of them are going home. And if you also look at this government, even the executive is going home. The only people whom we can't put a term limit is the judiciary. But Parliament, the executive, these are people who are destined to go home. Most of them are going home. And also, if you look at the fact that the CDF might be taken away from them, they use CDF to keep themselves in office. Again, that's a sign they're going home. They are misperformed. It's a time for generational change. Young people must come and rule this country. We don't want former this, former that. We are tired of former. If you didn't perform in your former, what makes us think you're going to perform in the current one and in the future? And that's what is now antagonizing. In fact, you might find that Parliament, the executive, and even the Senate and the Counter Assembly might agree, because who wants an election? Even you at home, where you are a husband, do you want an election at home to choose a new husband? Nobody wants an election. But election should be done because it is according to the law. It's not according to your comfort. And I know that the Parliament and the Senate has no jurisdiction to extend the term of the president, the term of the county assembly, and the term of the National Assembly or Senate. That rests with the people of Kenya through a referendum. But what we are telling you, even a day, even send it to the referendum, because you are wasting public resources for nothing. It will be rejected. There should be no need of trying. This government, no one can trust it with anything called change. I want to tell Kenyans, don't accept anyone to try to change even if there's something you want to change, let us only change it when we have someone in office we can trust. Because a hyena cannot change the rules of the game. Let us not allow the hyenas to change the rule of the game. A thief cannot change the rules of the game. A killer cannot change the rules of the game. In fact, if you give your rule to change, they will even change and remove Article 37 of the Constitution. They will even remove the sovereign, the Article 1 of the Constitution, and say he is a monarch. No, we cannot allow an enemy to change for us the law that governs our land. Thank you.